All right, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta talk about this PS5 Pro. Adam, did you look at anything?
I mean, yeah.
Like specs wise, did you look at anything specs wise?
A little bit, nothing too crazy. I didn't go like piece by piece, the most in-depth things of the PlayStation 5. My
Yeah.
biggest question of this is, um, not really biggest question, is this I feel like it's premature, I guess. No, not premature. Is it too late? I don't know. I feel like this is too close to the release of a PlayStation 6. Or not even too close. I think it's pointless. That's where I'm going at. I think the release of the PlayStation 5 Pro is pointless. That's all I'm
Did
gonna say.
you get the PS4 Pro?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. So you have your original PS4.
I have the original of the original, like the first release, midnight release. I got my PlayStation.
I have my launch day PS4 too. Now I've since obviously upgraded and got the PS5, but I do have my original launch day PS4. And I agree with Adam. I feel like this isn't needed. You know what I mean? And if you go through it, so like just a couple of things. If you want to watch a video on like tech specs and all that stuff, there's a billion videos out there. So I'm just gonna give it a quick run through here. But like the PS5 Pro, there's a couple of things that they're really selling it on, right? They're selling it on that GPU. They're selling it on their AI upscaling, and they're selling it on the better ray tracing, right? So the thing about it, like, did you look at the specs of the GPU?
No, I didn't look at it like in depth. All I know
Okay.
is it's supposed to offer 4K 60 instead of 4K 30,
Right.
which okay, cool. Like I understand like I'm not a frame rate snob. Like I do not care about 60 frames per second. Yes, does it look 10 times better and that's why I prefer to play on my PC, but at the same time like I don't care. If the game's fun, I don't care about it being 4K 60. I'll drop it down to 10K or not 10K. Dang, Adam's got
Dang,
10K PlayStation.
dang.
I'll drop it down to like 1080 60. Or you know what I mean? Like I play at 1080 most of my games because I'm either recording them on my computer or I'm live streaming them, and so I don't try to push my limits of 4K and things like that.
And I'm glad that you brought that up too, because like I don't want to say. I mean, I'm not a frame rate snob either, and I feel like this like really kind of tailors to like um a select group of people. And we'll go ahead and run the trailer right now, if it were not the trail, like their drop edition, yeah, of what the PS5 Pro is. But yeah, man, I feel like a lot of this stuff just, I don't know. It's the differences that you see in a lot of this stuff are so minuscule, and people are really kind of leaning on the fact that like this GPU. So they're saying that the GPU is 45% more powerful, right? But the CPU is only 10% more powerful. So, like, if you're looking at going back and upscaling old games, a lot of games really, there's a lot of games that are really notorious for being CPU dependent. Like, Cyberpunk is a great example of this, where it's like an upgrade in a GPU is not going to give you a noticeable enhancement of anything because the CPU isn't strong enough to compete to hold up to it, right? And then you're also looking at things like their AI upscaling, um, and their better ray tracing. It's like I don't know. I've watched a lot of videos of like side by sides and stuff like that. And I've gone as far as to watch them on my PC monitor, like watch them on my dedicated 4K TV. Like I'm not looking at this on my phone or something like that. And I just feel like the differences between what I'm seeing are so minute that there's like maybe a handful of people in the world that can pick up like what's going on that makes it look different.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And like the thing is when they do these comparisons, they're on YouTube doing these comparisons. And like and so it's super compressed both ways. So to me, like you said, it doesn't really look all that different, especially on these YouTube videos. And the biggest thing for me is it's $700.
Yeah, it's crazy amount of money.
$700 for just an extra 30 frames or 4K ray tracing, the 2 terabyte hard drive, but you can expand the hard drive of the original PlayStation. Um, and then the biggest thing, what I think is a huge flaw in this, and I don't know why they're going away from it, is they're taking away the disk drive. So $700, they're taking away the disk drive, and I buy my games, a lot of my games digital now, so it's not that huge of a deal to me. But for somebody like Dave who buys everything physical copy, wants that satisfaction of putting it into the disk drive, like that's frustrating. Like, and then to upgrade it to the disk drive, it's $80, which is another thing. So this console could become a $780 console.
800 if you want the stand that came with the
Oh,
original.
yeah, and then the stand. So yeah, an $800 console. But it doesn't make sense to me at this point in time. Yes, I know there was kind of a weird route, like run for them when COVID was big. The scalpers were buying all the PlayStation 5s, the shortage of chips. But I feel like we're in a place where everybody's happy with the PlayStation 5. At least I think so. I'm happy with my PlayStation 5. Everybody I talk to, Dave, you're happy with your PlayStation 5. I don't understand what the deal is to like PlayStation Pro. Let's release it. Like, let us know in the comments. Are you not happy with your PlayStation 5, or you really want something that's over the top, that you're like a frame snob? I don't know.
Yeah, and then like Adam was talking about, like I'm happy with my PS5, man. Like I'm fine with it. And the thing like with this upscaling, so they have the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, their PSSR is what they're calling it, right? And a lot like what Adam said, if you have the launch PlayStation, they have their fidelity mode, which puts you in better graphic. I'm really dumbing this down. So for all you tech guys out there, I'm sorry. I'm really dumbing this down just to make sure that like I don't get anything wrong and everybody kind of knows what we're talking about. But they essentially have their fidelity mode, which is better graphics, and then your performance mode, which gives you the higher frame rate. And like Adam said, this PS5 Pro is going to supposedly give you the fidelity level resolution with the performance frame rate. But like, if you really think about it, dude, like a lot of these older games have like specific frame rates anyway, right? So it's like a lot of these games have people think it's like, here's the thing. People think that it's a game that's in 60 FPS, right? That's not true, man. It's a game where the target is 60 FPS. Now, most games on most hardware struggle to maintain that frame rate, which is why you end up with frame drops, right? But like, I don't know, dude. I don't like if I get a minute amount of frame drops while I'm playing a game, and I play really hard games where like it really matters. You know what I mean? Like in the Souls likes and stuff like that. Like I play, I play Sekiro and like every millisecond of what you do counts. And even for a gamer like me, like I don't care that much if I get a frame rate drop.
I don't either. Mm, yeah. And most time I don't even notice. Like, but look at my glasses. Like I'm blind as a bat. So like let's be honest. But for me, like you said, I'm not losing my mind after a few frame drops. If it's like skippy and I can't understand what's going on, then yeah, then that's gonna make me upset. But when I'm just playing a game, there's a couple like little glitches in there. Like I'm like, okay, like I'm fine. But with is it $200 more than the PlayStation 5? I don't think so.
It's a weird price jump too, because if you really look at the inflated value, like I did a little bit of an analysis on the inflated value of this console, right? When the PS4 Pro dropped, if you look at the rise in inflation from the time that the PS4, trying to put this into perspective, the price of the PS4 versus the price of the PS4 Pro, and then if you calculate that into the price of the PlayStation and the PlayStation 5 and the PS5 Pro with inflation, the PS4 Pro or PS5 Pro should cost around $550. Like that's around where it should be. And this additional $150, I'm not sure where they're getting that price point, and no disk drive. So if you really look at it, like that 780 that we were talking, whatever, the stand is the stand, put it on a book or something like that. But like the 780 price tag is just a ridiculous rise in inflation. Yeah, and I don't understand where they're coming up with. Like, is it the chip? Is it the GPUs is super expensive?
Do you think with it releasing around Black Friday and the PlayStation 5 is kind of become, it's not, I don't think it's on its last leg yet. Do you think it's a way of them driving sales of the original PlayStation 5 rather than like go for the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Do you want to know my honest opinion here?
Let's hear it.
I think they're doing what most companies do, which is inflating the retail price of the item so that when they put it on sale, because you know what big shopping holiday is coming up
Yeah.
very, very soon.
Black
So when
Friday.
they put it on sale, it looks like you're getting a great deal on it, but really they're just selling it for what they wanted to sell it for anyway.
Yeah, market
So
value. Or what is it? Like what is that called? Where it's like
the
after,
fair market value.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But like if you really think about it, all right, so the PS5 Pro is $700, $699 right now. Well, look out for Black Friday sales where it's $549 because it makes it look like you're getting a great deal, but
Yeah.
really you're just paying
What you
what they
would've-
kind of wanted you to pay for it anyway.
Yeah.
You
So I
know what
wonder
mean?
after Black Friday or after like the first of the year, is that price going to be set at 550 or 650 or whatever the case may be?
It's very possible. I mean, they have to extend that price for some point, for some length of time, so they don't get caught in the trap of like obviously putting it on sale, overpricing it just to put it on sale. But like, I don't know. I really think that's what they're doing. It just feels like that's what they're doing. And for what you're getting out of this console, I just don't know. Like, and we kind of skipped over the ray tracing. So if you guys don't know what ray tracing is like what simulates the light in the world, like how light reflects on stuff, how light shines through, how the shadows play and everything like that. And that's kind of what gives you that sense of realism that's like really pleasing to your eye. And just looking at like the side by sides of this like aspect of it specifically, I still didn't see a noticeable difference. And like I said, I was looking on my monitor. Like I have an 8K monitor. Like I have an 8K. I have an 8K. I have an 8K monitor for my PC. I have a 4K TV. Like I didn't watch it on my phone. Like I really looked and like I don't know, dude. I just didn't see it. Like yeah, I was watching The Last of Us remake, right? And it's like okay, a little bit of okay, the grass looks a little bit sharper. You know what I mean? But like who gives a shit? Like who cares? You know what I mean?
You don't even notice that. Like when you're playing the game, like I don't notice I'm focused on my character. Yes, there's moments I'm like, wow, this game looks really good. But by the end of the time I'm playing the game, I'm like, I'm just having fun. My character looks cool. He's got this sweet customization. I don't care about the grass around me. I care about the animations of stabbing the guy in the neck, and that's what I'm excited about, not the little blades of grass.
Right, you're standing in a field and there's like 70 zombies circling around you and you're like, "Hold on, guys. Let me check out how good the grass looks." Like nobody's doing that. Like nobody is doing that, dude.
The people that are snobs of, I keep saying snobs. I'm gonna make some people mad. Not snobs. The people that are focused in on, focus in on that stuff. Yes, you guys care about that stuff, but for me, I don't. Like, I just like to play the game.
It's like the gearheads, man. Like I think that's a good name for them. Is like the people that really care about this level of stuff. And it's not to say that it's not something that you should care about. And if you're into it, like that's amazing. Like it is really cool stuff if you break down like how everything works and how these chips are working, what they're doing to upscale the resolution and stuff like that. But like for the vast majority of people, it just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Yeah, it just doesn't matter. Now, I will say that like having all these advancements in the console is very exciting to me for the future of gaming because now developers are going to be able to create games that are meant to work within this hardware, right? Because I think that one of the things that they're selling the PS5 Pro on is like all of your old games are going to look better. You know what I mean? And that's just simply not true. Again, with the PS4 image enhancement, like I watched gameplay of Bloodborne, my favorite game of all time. I've spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in this game. I watched the upscaled image enhancement version. No difference. Noticed nothing. Not a single thing. I didn't notice anything. No increase in frame rate. Like no nothing. It looked like Bloodborne. So like they're really pushing it on all of your old games are going to look fantastic, and I don't think that that's the way that they should go because it's not true. But it's the way that they have to go for right now because if you look at these developers with this hardware, they have to start developing games for it. And you know how long it takes to develop a game. We're not going to see a game that's like ready for PS5 Pro hardware for probably a good year, year and a half.
None of these games are going to be enhanced. Like, and so like I'm just kind of like following along here. And that's where I think this release of this is pointless. I think that again, I think they're just trying to drive as much money as they can for the PlayStation 5 and increase the revenue, all that good stuff. But really, I think their focus should be on the next generation of consoles. And unfortunately, I don't like they're not doing that with they maybe they are, but and this is just kind of their way. Or what they're doing is they're using components of the PlayStation 6 and like, oh, let's throw them a little teaser of what's to come in the near future. Maybe not near future, a few years down the line, but I don't know.
It's not a terrible idea, but yeah, I just I don't know. I think you're right. I think what they should have done is let these developers know what kind of ideas they're having for the PS6. Give them their hardware specs so that that way, because this happens every time we get a new console, but that way, when a new console drops, we actually have some games that are designed for the console so we can see exactly what it can do. This always happens when a new console drops. The new console drops and the developers are always playing catch up because it takes a while to develop a game and it takes a long time to, make it work the way that they want it to work and make it run smoothly and make it look as good as possible. And it's like when you throw these specs out here like, hey, this is the new thing that we can use, and they're like, well, shit, I just spent a year and a half designing for the old thing that nobody wants anymore. It's like we always get that transition period. You know what I mean? Like, if I think we're finally starting to get games, like maybe as of a few months ago, we're finally starting to get games that really look good for the next gen consoles. You know what I mean? And it's like, as soon as that happened, now we're walking through the ever revolving door of, well, there's new hardware. Okay, well, the game devs got to catch up. Okay, we caught up. Well, then now there's new shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, it just never ends. It's crazy.
Am I going to buy this one? No, mostly because I already have one. And this isn't, I feel like this isn't for the casual gamer that already has a console. This is going to be, like you said, for the gearhead that wants every PlayStation thing and that, or just never got the chance of even buying a PlayStation and they're like, might as well go for the best one. I think that's what this is for. Obviously, this is not for you and me, but it's just weird that they're releasing it at this point in time.
It is weird. Yeah, I won't be grabbing the PS5 Pro either. Just really kind of breaking it down, like the people that this is for, if you're really into gaming, if you are really into gaming, and I don't mean you're a casual gamer, you play an hour, here, maybe you skip a day. If you play games like every day, that's your number one thing, that's your number one hobby, you love it. If you have some disposable income because you're really just kind of throwing money at the wall right now to get this thing, and if you're locked into console gaming, like if you're locked into like I'm only going to be a console gamer for like now for the next 5 years, if you said yes to all of those things, this is probably for you. And if you said no to any of them, it's probably not.